What's up, everybody? Bradley Sutton, Helium10, and today's pro training is about our not new tool, but newly named tool called Index Checker, formerly known as 5K Checker. Here it is right here, Index Checker, new little icon right here. So first of all, for those of you new to indexing, what does indexing even mean? Indexing is commonly referred to in the Amazon world is your product possible to come up in the search results for a certain keyword. That means it's indexed. It's in the Amazon index. If it's not indexed, that means no matter how many times you try or no matter what happens or what kind of promotion you do, you would never ever come up for a certain keyword. But if you are indexed, yes, it is possible, and possibly you are ranked for it. So what is different? Well, as far as the functionality of 5K Checker compared to Index Checker, there is absolutely nothing different from what you've been seeing for a while compared to what you see now. The thing that's different is now we're showing you a little bit more behind the scenes of what's going on that brings you to are you indexed, yes or no question. So it shows you pretty in-depth of where you are at if you are indexed and on which index you might be, because there are also different indexes on Amazon. So let me just give an example here. Let's look under collagen peptides, right? And I'm just going to pick one random ASIN right here. Let's go ahead and pick this one right here, okay? So I'm going to paste that right here, okay? Now, I'm not going to enter the seller ID, all right? I'm just going to do it regular. And this is like 95% of you are going to do it this way, most likely, all right? So let's just pick a couple words that we know are in this listing. Collagen peptides, for example. Let's see, the brand name Vital Protein. So let's put those two. Collagen peptides and Vital proteins. And now let's think of a word that for sure is not indexed. All right. Let's say Batman. I doubt they have Batman anywhere in their listing. All right. So I'm not going to enter a seller ID. I'm going to get into that a little bit later. And as you'll, that means that these two are going to be checked, but this storefront is not going to be checked. And again, I'll explain all this in a little bit. So I'm going to hit check keywords. It is doing all two of these checks because, again, I didn't enter the seller ID. All right. And here we go. The cumulative, this is what you want to know. Are you indexed or not? So the answer is yes, yes, and no. So why do we know that this is indexed for collagen peptides? Well, the traditional index, if you mouse over here, it says traditional ASIN plus keyword test. So you can actually mouse over here and it turns into a hand. I'm going to click this. This takes you to the actual test that it's doing. ASIN plus keyword. This is the traditional index, the way that you always used to work, that you just enter ASIN plus keyword, and if it comes up, that means yes, you are indexed for that word. So that one, as you can see, one result, it came up as a yes. The next one is a field ASIN index. This is just a little bit different of a URL structure that allows us to check a little bit deeper about the indexing, and I'm going to hit this, and you can see what this URL looks like, but the bottom line is, yes, there's one result for this product, this ASIN under collagen peptides. That means, yes, it passes that test. Same thing for the vital proteins. Now, as you can see, for Batman, not surprisingly, it doesn't come up as index because this would never come up. If you click here, you'll see we found 0 results for this ASIN and the word Batman, all right? So now the question is, what is this storefront index? Well, in order to see that, you have to enter in the seller ID. I'm going to give you a test to show you kind of why we started doing this, check. Manny Coates, months and months ago, had posted in some of the Facebook groups. He's like, wow, did you guys know that you do not even have to have a keyword in your listing in order to come up in the organic search results? And that kind of blew the mind of a lot of people, including myself. This was before I worked, at Helium10, and I saw that. And yes, it's true. You do not have to be have a keyword anywhere in your listing, front end or back end, and you can be indexed for it on this other index, which some call the PPC index, sponsored products index, whatever you want to call it. But it's kind of like a separate index in the traditional index. And let me show you one of the first ways I saw that. Here's a brand name search, right? Lipozene. So all of these products, as you can see, are lipozene. So one day, I was checking on like the third page. Whoops, went to the wrong part right here. There we go. Let me look at the third page here. Let's see. There we go. Third time's a charm. All right. And all of a sudden, I'm like, what are all these products? This is not lipazine products. Does this mean that people have the word lipazine, which is a brand name, like in the back end of the listing or the front end? So where's an example? Here's an example right here. Okay. So this is an organic search result for lipazine. This is page 3, right? Burns. All right. So I'm like, what is going on? Did these people put lipazine in the listing? So I just went over here and actually there's nothing in this listing. So I'm pretty sure that lipazine is not in the front end of this listing, right? There's no bullet points here. What else down here? There's no product description, definitely no word of lipazine. So I was like, how do I check to see if maybe lipazine's in the back end, right? So I'm going to go to their storefront. I'm going to hit this right here and I'm going to go to their storefront. Okay. So now in their storefront, I'm going to do a test. Here's their product, right? So if I type in lipazine and the word is in their back end, it's going to come up on this storefront search, lipazine. And look, under their storefront, none of their products come up for lipazine. So that is kind of like what really opened my eyes. Is like, wow, yeah, there's this word that's not even anywhere in this listing and it's coming up organically. How can we show if that's going to happen? So let me show you guys what we would do. I'm going to take this ASIN and I'm going to put it right here. Now I'm going to put the seller ID. All right. Now right here, let me go back. So right here, I'm going to hit their storefront. But on this page right here, if you look here, seller equals, this is the seller ID. You just double click right here and it highlights what the seller ID is. All right. So I'm going to put that here. Now for this one, I'm going to put a couple of words, BURNZ. That's obviously in their title. Let me see one more word that might be in their listing. Wait, well, that's not even their product. Where is that other product? Burns. Here it is. Matter of fact, I had the wrong ASIN, so I'm going to check that ASIN. There we go. Do the right ASIN right here. All right, so what else? Dietary supplement. So that's probably index, right? So I'm going to put that right here. And then remember that word lipazine, which is not anywhere in their front end or their back end. So under the traditional ways to check indexing, you would have said, no, it's not indexed at all. All right. So I'm now going to go ahead and search this. Let's go ahead and do this. What comes up? So for the word burns, traditional index, yes. Field ASIN index, yes. Storefront index check, yes. Why does it come up in the storefront index check? Watch this. I'm going to hit this. Here's their storefront, right? This is their brand. This is their company store. And I typed in Burns. And yes, one result came up. So it is indexed there. Now, here's where it's interesting. Look at this. Lipazine. Traditional index, not there. Storefront index, not there. But this check showed it because this one will show or expose, whatever word you want to use, if it is indexed still, even though it's not in any of the traditional index. So if you ever see a ASIN that shows not traditionally indexed, not storefront index, but it is on this one, then you are probably on that PPC index. And that means that you are able to come up in the organic search results, even though that word is not in your listing. But either way, the answer is still the same. And this is what our old interface would always show. It would say yes, yes, yes. Again, the only thing different now is we're showing you exactly our methodology to actually come to this answer of yes or no. So guys, I hope you find this very informative. Again, most of you guys might not use this storefront check. So where you might use it is like, let's say this was your brand and you're like, what, or lipazine was your brand, right? And you're like, why does this guy come up on the search results for lipazine? Does he have my brand name in his back end? If he does, I'm going to go report him to Amazon. So you would do this test with the storefront and then say, oh no, he doesn't. He's just on the PPC index. Nothing I can do about that. But if this one came up as yes, then yeah, you'd probably go ahead and report him to Amazon and say, hey, this guy's using my brand name, whatever, right? But what if this was your product? Maybe you're wanting to do a launch for a specific keyword and you want to use a storefront URL. Well, for a storefront URL to work, you have got to be indexed in the storefront for it. So this would also be the other way that you might check. Other than those two methods, there's probably not many uses of you using this storefront. That's why we made it optional here. You don't have to put this every time that you want to do an index check. So again, guys, this is our new user interface of Index Checker. I hope you guys are going to be able to use this to help your business grow, to do your research, whatever you might need it for. Thanks, guys.